Well, here we are on the third day of our little road trip. So we are in, well, you saw the pictures on the end of the last video, and we are in Llandudno. So yeah, you can see it's pretty dark. I'm having to use a torch just to light myself up. So it's 6:30 on a Sunday morning, and we've got some rescue to do at a triathlon. But before we do that, we have got to paddle over to it. So it is actually in the background down there. You can see some lights, you can see the pier. Well, you can't see the pier, but you can see some lights, and that is where it is. So I am a little bit up the road, and I've actually learnt this from doing previous triathlons, that when you actually want to get out of the triathlon, when you finish your water safety, it is very tricky if you are very close to it. Obviously, I'm further away up the coast a little bit, so I've got about a 2-kilometre paddle just to paddle down. So I'm waiting for it just to get a little bit brighter, and then we can get on the water and paddle across. So it's going to be an interesting paddle. There's a tiny bit of wind in the air, but not much, and I can hear, yeah, there's a little bit of a wave when we get in. So here we go. So it isn't very far down to the sea here. You can perhaps hear it in the background. It's probably about, well, have a look. Can you see anything? No, perhaps not. Well, it's not very far, but I am going to use the trolley. And the reason for that is because I want to make sure the trolley's in the back of the kayak for the trip. Because if I get to a point where I'm not able to paddle back for whatever reason, at least I've got the option of pulling it on the trolley. And I have to say, the trolley with the Rockhopper is the best way of moving that kayak, because it is so heavy. So yeah, it's a little bit downhill on the grass and then onto the rocks, but we'll hopefully get to the water. So what a beautiful sunrise. Just coming round the back of that mountain or hill, and we're going to get in and do a little bit of paddling. This is always the tricky bit when you're on your own, is getting on the water. But there we are. Okay. Oh, that's nice. So it's 7:03 in the morning, and our safety briefing is at 8:15. So yeah, I've got a little bit of time to get there and paddle down. So I did actually recce the start of the triathlon, the swim of the triathlon yesterday, and I know it's at the end of the pier, and I can actually see the little orange buoys that the safety team have already put in the water. So that's the lifeboat station over there. That's where they launched the lifeboat from. And there is the promenade at Llandudno. So we're making some progress along here and just enjoying the nice cloud formation above the houses there. Really nice colours for this early morning. I have seen one other paddler, but he's way ahead of me. He's probably there by now. So yeah, at least I know there's somebody else there. I'm just keeping, because I don't know this area particularly well and I don't know the tides, etc. I'm just keeping close-ish to the side because, I mean, I'm being overcautious, but I don't want to run the risk of being pushed out too far around the corner there, right over there. So I can see a little green buoy thing in the water. So I think I'm going to head kind of towards that now, because I am close enough in. I'm not going to go around the end of the headland. And look at the buildings of Llandudno, absolutely beautiful, very colourful. And yeah, in the summer, that view out onto the bay here, absolutely superb. Might be slightly crowded with people, but a nice view anyway. And yeah, clearly in the winter, perhaps a different ball game really. So if I just turn, because we've got a little bit of time in hand, have a look round, you can see the wind farm right over there off the coast. I'm guessing that's perhaps a mile away, maybe more. There's a little light there that was flashing earlier. That's stopped flashing now, but it's on continuous. And then the headland right at the top, and then there's the lifeboat station, and my car is just past the lifeboat station, so it's not too far to paddle. I have to say I was a little bit apprehensive about this. I don't know why. You kind of have to get your sea legs, just get used to working on the sea. So I'm really pleased that I've done this as a 3-day road trip, and I've done 2 of the paddles already before getting here. And one yesterday was on the sea, well, an estuary, so it gave me an idea of currents and just getting used to being back on the sea again. And I make no apology for celebrating the boat that I'm in, the Rockhopper. For this kind of activity, this boat is superb. Yes, it's not a sea kayak, but it is a really good in-between touring / sea kayak. And yeah, I do really enjoy it. There's a little slip road over there. So again, the reason for bringing the trolley, that is in the back of the kayak. So the reason for bringing the trolley is that in the event that I'm too tired or whatever, because we are going to be on the water for 2 to maybe 3 hours, if I get a bit tired, I could potentially bring the boat out at something like that slip road and then walk it up the road. Yeah, it's not pretty and it'll take a while, but it's doable. And yeah, that is an option. So you can see the course. So I'm presuming they're going to come through the pink buoys right over there, then go round all of those orange ones and back to the shore. But I believe they're doing several laps. So yeah, good for them. That's a fair old distance, 1500 meters. We'll get a lot of people coming down, obviously doing the race. They all have to bring their cars, vehicles to get here. Their bikes have to set up. There's transitions. There's the running transition, the cycling transition. So lots of stuff going on. But then probably by 12 to 2 o'clock, this place will be back to normal. So everybody will have gone, all the triathletes will have gone, and they'll be, yeah, it'll be back to a normal Sunday afternoon for Llandudno. Oh, Queen's Hotel there. Ah, nice. What's that one? The George Hotel. Yeah, very nice. Very ornate, quaint for this type of area. Now you can see the rest of my team are sitting on the rib over there, or pushing it out, maybe go and check the buoys. So that's where I'm going to head. So we're just waiting for our safety brief now. So a few more paddlers arriving. So it looks like we've got 5, 6, maybe a couple of paddle boards as well. We've just had an update on the weather. And yeah, the wind is going to pick up a little bit later. So the paddle back might be interesting. So I'm really glad, sorry, look a bit better like that. There we go. Really glad I put the trolley in the back of the kayak, because if we do have to debunk and get on the side, then I've got the option to at least carry the kayak. As I said, won't be pleasant, but we can actually do it. So there is a contingency plan for that. So we've had the safety briefing and we're on the water. You can see over there all of the athletes getting ready for the swim, and I'm just paddling out over to a buoy over here, and we'll keep a little eye on what's going on. If you turn around, you can see the rest of the team, and it won't be long before they're starting off on their swim. Sea temperature is 14 degrees, so they will be wetsuited up, obviously for safety, and we've been given a briefing on what we do should anybody get into difficulties. You can see with the up and down on the kayak here that there is a little bit of swell. Weather is due to change later, as in 12 hours from now, to almost cyclonic winds. So yeah, glad we'll be off the water. We may see the early part of that, but hopefully nothing more than that. And yeah, it's certainly beautiful to be out on the water. So gonna have a steady paddle along here. See, there's nobody on the end buoy, well, the end 2. So for safety, I will go along a little bit. We have more than enough craft to cover the safety here, so we should really have a person on every buoy. See the wind farm in the distance over there. Some of the blades are going round, not many. Well, some, yeah, quite a few actually. I think they all are. So we also have radios for communication. So everybody has a radio, including the powerboat and also on land. So we can get backup, especially if we need medical backup. Then that is the way of doing it. And on the third wave, which will be about 9:45, it's currently 8:40. So at 9:45, I will be leading out the blue hat swimmers, and I will have to paddle around just slightly in front of the fastest swimmer. So let's hope he's not too fast. So here come the first round of swimmers. Complete with drone. So those 3 are pretty far ahead. And the rest of the group. Paddle a little bit closer to the buoy so I don't distract these swimmers and think that I'm the marker. So I'm leading out this group now. So I just need to keep in front of whoever's the furthest in the front.
On this way,
So just helping swimmers find the exit here, because they're swimming past. There's quite a swell here. So you can see, good crowd, people cheering. So I'm just using the opportunity in between the legs of the triathlon to grab a snack and just have a bit of a recap on the weather, because the wind hasn't necessarily picked up, but the swell has, and that is making it pretty difficult for the swimmers, because on the gaps between the buoys they are being pushed off course a little bit, so they're having to correct, and obviously that uses energy, which is not so good for them. There goes our man on the jet ski. Goodbye. So we're just paddling out to our positions for the second waves. There are going to be 3 waves. They're only doing 1 circuit, so that's 750 meters. They call it a sprint. That's a long sprint, but never mind. It's a sprint, so should be a little bit quicker. Probably 45 minutes to an hour to cover any of the slower back swimmers. And the swell has picked up, so they're getting the swimmers in the water now. So I'm going to paddle out here a little bit, bearing in mind I've got to paddle back as well, which is right over there in the distance, just past that building. That's the lifeboat station. So yeah, that'll be enjoyable. I wasn't being facetious. So some nice little swell here, look, picking up. So these are the kind of changing conditions, obviously being on the sea, and that was my apprehension this morning, getting onto the sea, because even though the weather looks okay, we haven't got any rain, it's not particularly windy, there is a little bit of wind, but this swell is picking up. And the tide is, I don't know whether it's at high tide, but it's getting close to high tide. So I think we'll go somewhere over here and we'll wait for the swimmers. So the wind has definitely picked up. Some strong gusts now. So there we are, all done and dusted. 11:57. So not too bad. The wind has picked up, the swell's picked up. So I've got the long haul back to the car now. So I'm just going to take a steady paddle, because it's not an urgent trip I've got to make, so it's nice to enjoy it. So there is Biffy parked up on the road, And yeah, let's see if we can get out. So there aren't many waves here, so we should be okay. Take a run in. Not the easiest when it's onto rocks. Oh. There we are. So time wise, that is 12:20. Paddle all the way back from the pier over there. So quite pleased with that, especially because I've been on the water since 8:20. So some of the guys got off, but it was such a short break between the sessions, it was worth just staying on. A little bit less hassle. So yeah, tidy up now and get back in the car and drive home. So what an amazing 3 days I've had in Wales, and hope you enjoyed the videos.